Jacob, I've come to bargain.
Ah, a deal, you say?
No, we're just going to do an episode. Welcome to class. Hello and welcome to Marvel Cinematic University, where each and every week I teach Jacob something about the Marvel Cinematic Universe that he doesn't know and probably still doesn't. I forgot how to do an intro, and I'm your host. And it has been a while. I'm your host and Professor Alix, and with me, as usual, is my worst student ever, Jacob Bryant. I never forget that part.
Yeah, I mean, I'm your only student, so therefore I'm also the best student.
Well, you're also the worst student.
Well, it's a dual-held title.
Yeah, best, worst student.
I would even reckon to say we have something very strange to talk about today.
No, we're actually talking about something else today.
Oof.
We brought you here for your crippling alcoholism that we need to discuss. If you open that door behind you, all of your closest friends are here.
How'd they get in? Oh, wait, there are no others. It's just you.
Yeah, unfortunately, nobody liked you enough to come to this.
Oh, that's fair.
Anyway, yes, today we are talking about Doctor Strange, a man with a PhD. I think that's a superpower. Yep, that's what a PhD is. Glad you could explain that to everyone.
We're here to learn.
Guess you only need a bachelor's to know that one, huh?
Yeah.
So yeah, this week we're talking Doctor Strange, released in 2016, I believe. I forgot to write that part down. With a budget of 165 million. Would you like to guess what its box office was?
380 million.
Oh man, so close. It was 677 million.
I was gonna go in the 600s.
Yeah, I mean you were only 300 million off, so.
Yeah, I mean that's closer than I've been in the past.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's true. When you're so bad at this, you really can only get closer.
Yeah, I have no bearing on what's a good box office return.
Yeah, it's fair. This film was directed by Scott Derrickson. Scott Derrickson.
That's the name I'll never forget.
Do you think he's friends with Kirsten Lepore?
I like to think so.
They're BFFLs.
They're biffles.
Biffles. This film stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Rachel McAdams, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Benedict Wong, Tilda Swinton, and Mads Mikkelsen.
Yep.
Yeah,
pronounced
what's up?
Exactly like that.
All of them. Which one did I possibly mess up?
The one I'm not even going to try to pronounce.
I think I got that one pretty spot on.
Yeah, that was Mordu.
Yeah.
Mordu.
Yeah, Mordu. Not Dormammu. Not to be confused with Dormammu.
Yeah. It says Mordu in my book.
This film takes place like about half a year after Ultron is when it starts, and it ends like about a year after Civil War.
So there's a lot going on here over this.
Well, yeah, he goes to school for a while, you know?
And they made it seem like it was like 30 minutes, but I suppose it was quite some time.
He was there for a couple of months.
Couple 2, 3.
I mean, it takes a while to learn some magic, some kooky hands.
Yeah, but he has that photographic memory.
Yeah, but he also didn't have kooky hands, so that had to take him some time.
He had to get the kooky hands.
He had to get the kooky hands. He only had the shaky hands.
He did have some shaky thingies right there.
Well, Jake, it can only be time for one thing. It's time for you to tell us the plot of Doctor Strange.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
Now, I see how you would want me to do that.
Yep, that's your job.
We're going to give it a go here. my initial thoughts on this movie was it was kind of unmemorable.
Well, that's because you're stupid and dumb, but continue.
Yeah. Just so we're gonna give this a go. So there's a fight. There's some opening scenes where there's a fight, and the ancient one is fighting the bad guys who are.
Where is she fighting them?
I think it's London.
Where in London? What dimension are they in?
The glass realm, mirror realm.
The mirror dimension?
That one.
The glass realm?
Yeah. Same thing, sort of.
The 7 years of bad luck house?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Continue.
And the buildings all start going doing some sideways.
Yeah,
stuff,
kaleidoscoping.
They're in the mirror realm, and you can do that there without interfering with people's lives. The ancient one's doing all that, and then she fights them off.
You seem like you're really under pressure. Like you're sweating. I can see the sweat beads.
Well, it's very hot in my apartment, and I just showered, so.
Oh, I thought it was more that you were so nervous that you're going to get this wrong.
No, it's 100% that. But yeah, she fights him off. Then we go to Doctor Strange, who's working in a little hospital.
Yeah, a little hospital.
He calls another guy an idiot, does the surgery after the other guy called this guy dead.
Don't forget, he's also picking out some music.
Oh, he is picking out some music. He loves his tunes.
He loves the tunes.
Mm-hmm. Then he's like, I'm the best doctor that there ever was. And so he's driving home and, texting and driving.
As it says at the end of this movie, not advised.
Yeah, because he drives off a cliff. And that's when he gets the shaky thingies.
I'm surprised that's all he got from that. That was quite the crash.
That was cool. I think it was a Tesla. Those things are pretty safe, I've heard.
There was a bunch of crunchies.
It was a Tesla, and the the stay in your lane feature hadn't been invented yet in 2016. So
I think he was using the stay off the mountain feature.
It did not work.
Yeet me from the mountaintop feature.
Yeah, he drove that thing right off the mountain.
Yeah,
and
he
kind of has like an existential crisis. Is like, why can't I gotta get my fingies back? Stop him from being.
He's also like Dr. Nick, or they're like Dr. Nick did the best he could, and he's like, I could have done better. I could have fixed these fingies.
Not with the broken fingies, he couldn't have. Dr. Nick's now the #1 doctor.
Yeah, and he couldn't fix fingies.
He's not a fingy doctor. They should have gone to a fingy specialist.
He might be a Tootsie guy.
Oh, I think he likes Tootsies.
Yeah, I think he's a big Tootsie guy.
Big Tootsie guy. So then he finds out this other guy. He's like, oh, this guy was like, couldn't walk, but now he went to Kunlun, and now he can walk. It's not called Kunlun, but, similar name.
Armutage. It's not condom. We're not talking about condom anymore. This is an Iron Fist.
He goes to Car Garage. And
Car Garage. God damn it.
And then he's like, fix my fingies. And they're like, no. And they kick him out to the streets.
Oh, quick side note though. The guy that was playing basketball with the Tootsies, when the guy who got his Tootsies fixed.
Yeah.
He also, this isn't the first time he's played basketball in a superhero movie, that actor.
Oh.
One time, once upon a time in a DC universe far, far away, there once was a terrible, terrible film called Catwoman, in which it featured an unnecessary basketball court scene, which this guy was also in. So
DC and Marvel Universe confirmed together, same universe.
Yeah, I think this might be a nexus point.
Yeah. Yep. it appears to be that way.
Yeah, I think it has to happen in every universe this man plays basketball.
It's like the whole Spider-Verse thing.
Yeah, you mean like how every Spider-Man has to appear in Iron Man 2?
Yes. They let him in. He does some training. He steals some books. One of the pages of the books got stolen by those bad guys that are in cahoots with Marmaduke.
Yeah, the Mads Mikkels.
And so he continues to train, get better. They come to fight him, but he's like kind of new to this whole magic stuff. But he knows how to go in and out of his conscious realm. I think. He tells Rachel McAdams, "Hey, you gotta fix me.
Wow,
I'm dying."
wait, hold on. You've skipped a good portion of this movie, and you've skipped the best part of this movie. So before he starts his lessons, and gets kicked out of Carmutage, he's talking to the Ancient One, and the Ancient One's like, "Let me show you a bunch of crazy shit." Touches his brain, and then he like starts falling through a bunch of fingies, and he sees himself, and he goes into the quantum realm for a second, and then there's like a bunch of his face made out of hands, and then like his face collides within itself, and he's just hanging out in the multiverse.
Oh yeah, doesn't he have a bunch of the little thingy hands on too?
Oh, you mean the thing I just brought up 3 times in that last sentence I said? Yeah.
Yeah. Was that when his face was on the hands?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, the hands turn into a face, and then the face like eats him.
Yeah.
Or he goes through the eye or something.
We don't like fingy faces.
Fingy faces. All right, so he's in class. Like, let's talk about some of his schooling, maybe, like how the Wi-Fi was something.
Oh yeah, he's like, "This is the Wi-Fi password. We're not animals."
Of course, you gotta have Wi-Fi to learn magic. Everyone knows magic is Wi-Fi based.
In all the future movies we see Doctor Strange, there's Wi-Fi in all those planets. He uses magic.
Yeah, that's how he sees all the futures.
It's a portable router, a hotspot.
Well, actually, in Infinity War, he's using Iron Man as his router. So
Iron Man's a hotspot. Yeah, that makes sense.
he's using Friday as a hotspot.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so
tell me about this
schooling. Well, they throw him on a mountain and let him suffocate for a little bit.
Yeah, he spent some time on Mount Everest.
Reminds me of my schooling.
Yeah, basically.
I think, he calls that guy Beyonce, Wong. He calls Wong Beyonce.
Wong is one of the better characters in this movie, I would say.
And then Wong listens to some Beyonce, and he's got all the single ladies. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. Now put your hands up.
All the single ones. All the single ones. All the single ones.
Yeah, are they all single? You don't know what's going on in Wong's world. Maybe he's hanging out in Madison. We'll get to that in the future.
Ooh.
Spelled with a Y and not where you think.
It's not a square garden.
All right, continue. You ruined the quote that I was saying.
Oh.
With something that my brain did not find enjoyable in any way whatsoever.
I see. Oh, okay. So where does he go from school? I don't know if you have any more school tidbits here, but
well, he watches his Professor Mordo guy with the Tootsie lifters. He's got the levitation shoes. And then there's like a spear or something. And then all the books get stolen. The spear of something. It's in my fun facts at some point.
All right.
It's the staff of the tribunal.
The staff of the tribunal.
The living tribunal, of course.
Of course.
We'll talk about them in a little bit.
Sure. And then Dormammu. Guys.
Can I get more Damu?
More Damu, please.
Marmaduke?
Marmaduke. Yeah, that's who it is. Marmaduke his guys come to attack.
Marmaduke, I've come to bargain. Oh yeah, he also does that fun stuff with the time stone and an apple.
Oh yeah, he does kind of figure that out.
Yeah, he makes the apple go eaten and then uneaten and then eaten again.
Kind of like a little bit of foreshadowing for the final scene of this movie.
Yeah, that Marmaduke's gonna take a bite out of crime. He's taking over Scruff McGruff's job.
Yeah, I was gonna just make that joke. Him and Scruff McGruff. So he fights him off, gets stabbed in the chest. Rachel McAdams patches him back up. He's all good to go again.
Oh my god! How could you pass right over the meeting of Doctor Strange and Mads Mikkelsen there when they meet?
There's about 10% of this film that's stuck in my brain.
And he's like, nice to meet you. Mr. And Doctor Strange goes, Doctor. And then Caecilius goes, Mr. Doctor. And Doctor Strange goes, it's strange. And Mads Mikkelsen goes, I guess, but who am I to judge? It's the best joke. I mean, I just like absolutely butchered it, but it's the best joke in the entire MCU.
I didn't catch that. That's funny.
Mr. Doctor.
Mr.
Strange,
Doctor.
but who am I to judge?
Wasn't there a Stan Lee sighting during that fight scene as well?
That's like in a hot minute. Don't skip stuff. So the Doctor heals him. Also, the broom falls on her. And she gets terrified, and it's actually funny because that's what happened on set. She wasn't supposed to scream, but the broom also wasn't supposed to fall.
It's one of those times actors weren't acting.
Oh, and also he astral projects and keeps scaring her.
Oh, while she's doing the surgery.
Yeah. And he's
keeps
like
popping in, giving her pointers.
He's like, "Yo, I'm Casper. Remove that spleen."
And they kind of mend the relationship a little bit.
Yeah, sure. I guess you could call it that.
Or in a way.
In a way. They're now pals.
Yeah. He was a little bit of a dick earlier in the movie.
I'm sure it's because I've seen the next few movies, but I don't think it's going to work out for him.
Sorry to hear that.
Okay, so he goes back. He's in the mansion again. And then I think the kaleidoscoping happens with Wong there. Or no, not with Wong, with Mordu.
Dormammu.
Not Dormammu, the friend. Bordu. Yeah, that guy.
I think you had it right the first time.
Is it B or M? It's M, right?
Yeah. Mordo.
I get him confused with the villain from Brave.
Oh, yeah.
Madu.
That is confusing. They should have changed his name.
So they go in the kaleidoscope.
Next thing I know, he's fighting Dormammu.
There's so much of this movie between this scene and that.
This movie was unwatchable.
It seems like you may not have liked this movie because you didn't watch half of it.
Dude, I watched it twice. When I'm saying this entire movie felt like one big long opening scene and then it was over. It felt like one big long opening that was over.
So now you're in the fight scene here. They're fighting.
We already had the fight scene.
In the kaleidoscope, the ancient one comes in and is like, hey, it turns out I am siphoning off the powers from Dormammu to make things pretty cool for myself and be immortal. And then Doctor Strange is like, interesting. And Mordu is like, the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. I'm gonna be angry about this. And then
you remember he was a little upset.
Yeah. And then she gets pushed to her death. It actually makes a very, very terrible crunching sound. Yeah. Yep. I think that was it. And then they take her to the doctor, who also happens to be Christine again. And Christine's like, oh, this day can't get any worse. I'm tired of patching up magicians. And then the ancient one slows.
She do be patching.
And then the ancient one slows down time into a little second. And Doctor Strange is like, yo, what up? What's going on? And she's like, I've seen so many futures and they all end here. I die now. And then lightning strikes slowly, and then she disappears.
No more splish splash on the sidewalk.
And well, I mean, I'm sure there's some leftovers.
Yeah.
Her astral projection disappears. So then Doctor Strange takes a trip to Hong Kong, where Benedict Wong has now died, and they're fighting. Things are not going in their favor, and Doctor Strange goes, "But what if I can turn back time?" And then that song starts playing as he, in my head, that song always starts playing as he turns back time.
I knew it was coming. If I could turn back
time. And then he takes a little float up to Dormammu, and I think you could take it from here.
Yeah, once he goes there, he's like, hey, let me use this swanky time stone I have. And I'm going to just die 900 billion times until Dormammu.
Marmaduke.
Marmaduke, yeah, until Marmaduke accepts his deal where he's like, hey, I'm going to peace out of here and never come back.
Marmaduke, I've come to bargain.
I've come to bargain. And then he, that goes on for 20 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
well, it's theorized that it might be like at least 2 years.
Oh, really?
Worth of time. So one of the big theories out there is that during this time is when Doctor Strange actually learns how to use a lot of his magic. He's just using this as training time. Until Dormammu goes mad.
And he did go mad.
Yeah, he got mad.
Yeah.
He didn't get Glad Preston Seal.
So according to that theory, this is like time's not as relevant in this. Oh, because of the time stone.
They're in a time loop. They're stuck in a time loop. That's the whole thing. So time doesn't exist in a time loop.
That makes sense. And
they're like this.
Just woo, 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 woo.
Yes.
Doing some time loopies.
Some loop-de-doop-de.
And then Dormammu's like, all right, I'm going to get out of here.
I'm going to peace out.
I'm going to peace out.
I'm going to leave.
Take Caecilius with me, who thinks he's in for a pretty good life. Turns out probably not great.
I think he's getting touched by Dormammu.
Yeah, in a loop.
He's getting humped by Marmaduke.
Yeah.
Marmaduke,
Cowboy.
No! Yeah, and then they put the time stone back. Everything, I think, works out. And I forget what else happens here.
I think it's kind of... So Strange goes to, like, work in Times Square, I think, and then with Wong, right?
Well, not in Times Square, but yeah.
Yeah, the New York one.
Yeah, the Beaker Street.
Yeah, Beaker Street garage from GTA.
And anyway, then yeah. The end.
I think that's the end.
And then there was some end credits, and then something happens after the credits.
Those I did not watch.
Jacob. Okay, well, what if I told you it's a scene from a movie you've already seen that we have yet to discuss, because obviously it's a movie in the future. I'm not going to narrow down the movie. I want you to tell me what you think the scene was.
It's probably from Infinity War.
Yeah, no, that doesn't line up, but go ahead. We're just at the beginning of Phase 3 right now.
Yeah, I was thinking it's when he's just sitting there with his head going like, in Infinity War.
Well, that's never been an end credit scene once, so that'd be crazy.
Well, I don't know. It was a guess.
Well, maybe you should have watched the end credit scene, and then you would know that
there was an end credit scene.
There's always an end credit scene. It's the scene from Ragnarok where Thor goes to visit Doctor Strange. You know, Doctor Strange's next appearance in the MCU, and it's Thor refilling up his beer.
Oh,
yeah, and it foreshadows him showing up in Ragnarok. You Ragnar dumbass. All right, well, I guess it's time for me to tell you some fun facts or whatever.
Yeah, give me some facts of fun.
All right. Fun fact number 1.
Fat fun fact.
Huh?
You said fat fun fact?
No, I said fact. Fun fact number 1.
Fat fun fact.
Christine Palmer holds the name of Night Nurse in the Marvel Comics. In the MCU, however, this role is borrowed by somebody else. Who is it borrowed by, Jacob?
That would be Rosario Dawson.
That is correct. Claire Temple is the Night Nurse in the MCU, while Christine Palmer is also technically Night Nurse.
A lot of night nurses.
Fun fact number 2. Dr. Nicodemus West, also known as Dr. Nick, was also the surgeon responsible for saving Stephen Strange's hands in the comics. Eventually distraught that he failed to preserve the surgeon's gifts and contributions to the world, he followed behind Strange to find similar salvation at Carmutage, training in the mystic arts before also returning to New York City. as Dr. West. I actually don't know if that was what his name was, his alias was, but that'd be funny if it was.
We'll go with that.
Fun fact number 3. One of my favorite fun facts. The scene where we meet Doctor Strange for the first time takes place on Groundhog Day. Coincidentally, this film takes inspiration from Groundhog Day's time loop. It's Groundhog Day again.
I almost could have guessed that fun fact based off you saying it's one of your favorite fun facts.
It's one of my favorite fun facts because it's one of my favorite movies. And this movie took inspiration from that movie, and I can only like that movie for this, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Next fun fact. The joke Doctor Strange tells about the warnings coming at the end of the books actually plays out in the film, as there is a warning at the end of the credits that warns of distracted driving.
Hey, I mean,
the warning came too late.
If he's not distracted driving.
Yeah, the warning came too late. He didn't know not to distracted drive.
Yeah, exactly.
Fun fact number something. The staff of the tribunal belongs to the living tribunal, a cosmic judge in the comics.
The cosmic tribunal judge.
Yeah, he's got 3 heads, or 3 faces on his head.
They love multiple faces in this movie.
That doesn't stop. The apple Stephen reverses time on symbolizes the forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve took munchies on.
It was an apple.
Yeah, and Benedict was, Doctor Strange was sucking on that forbidden fruit by turning time on it.
And he got in trouble for that.
It's a sin.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final fun fact, Benedict Cumberbatch also voices Dormammu. Cumberbatch. Benedict Cucumber Patch. Yeah. So that's all the fun facts. And now the very minimal connections of this film.
I'm going to say, you got some crazy connections for me over there?
I got them crazy connections. The Avengers Tower appears multiple times in the city skyline during the movie, because this movie also takes place in New York.
They like New York.
Steven briefly passes through the quantum realm while he's on his little acid trip thing.
You can actually see Ant-Man.
You can't see Ant-Man, but good try, though.
It's highly theorized.
The Eye of Agamotto contains the Time Stone, which is one of the Infinity Stones. In the end credit scene, we see Thor is back in New York looking for Mr. Loki. And that's all I got. That's pretty much the end of the episode.
Now, are we still in the business of rating these things?
So here's what I've decided, right? Because the last 3 episodes, we have remembered that we're supposed to do the ranking, but we get to the end of the episode and we don't do the ranking.
That's fair.
So we're at this point, we're just going to do one of them ranking episodes when I need a filler episode.
Sounds good.
So that's going to be that, why make it part of the show when we can't remember? Might as well just make it its own thing. So it makes our lives easier.
Yeah. Special up.
Jacob, your homework for this week is to watch. I'm sorry, this one's not a great one. Do you think you'll be okay watching a pretty shit one? Sure.
You put me through Iron Fist.
It's Guardians of the Galaxy 2, baby.
Oh, I'll never get. We could probably just film that one right now.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that movie 19 billion times. Yeah, I'll watch it again. I'll probably go through all 3 Guardians this week alone, like I do every week.
Oh, I drunkenly watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3 the other night.
Oh, it is such a pleasure to watch.
I was very hammered on Sunday.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, so don't forget to follow us on the stuff. That contains Instagram and TikTok and X, I guess.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Also, I guess you could follow us on like Sewing Machine and Yarn and Shoelace. At MCU 101 University, something like that. It's in the caption, so go check it there. Also buy our merch. We've got great merch. We've got Blender Man. We've got some other stuff. We've also got some Baldur's Gate stuff coming soon. New episodes of new episodes of Pinheads and Parasites every Monday at 3, and new episodes of Marvel Cinematic University every Thursday at 3, and soon to be new episodes of GTA Playing Gamings with the Boys on Saturday.
Ooh.
I don't know when that's going to come out. I have some stuff ready in the pipeline, but I got to figure that out. But right now you can catch Boulder Gates on Monday and Marvel Cinematic University on Thursday here on YouTube. And you can also get Marvel Cinematic University wherever you get podcasts. Mostly Spotify is probably the place to go where people listen to those things these days. And that's the rant for this week.
Good rant. A+ rant.
I thought it was a good one. Yeah. Go watch Guardians.
I'll watch it twice.